Mic check. How's that, Chuck? Talking into the ether again. Mic check, 1, 2. Excellent. Check, check. Berm, you doing all right in the back? Wonderful. Check, check. Mic check. Is everyone happy? Check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Spencer, you good? I didn't see a thumbs up from you. Mic check. Mic check, 1, 2. Well, if everyone's good, everyone's happy, everyone's set up, I think everyone's pretty much got their stuff put away. Well, I'll hang out a little more. Saw another live view pack come in. Mic check. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Everyone good in the back? I'm gonna take that as a yes, yeah. All right. Check, 1, 2. All right. Think that's been everything. Everyone who's going to plug in. All right. But, yep. I can keep talking. Good. Okay. Excellent. Mic check. All right. Last call. Everyone happy?
see your mic. Yeah, thanks.
All right, folks, we'll open up right over here to the right. Austin Ward, the podcast.
And you said the other day that you wanted this team to come play angry today. Do you think that they did that today? What's your evaluation of that effort?
Yeah, I just the way we went out in the fourth quarter and won the game. That's something we talked about. In that off week and digesting the Oregon game. It's like, it's one thing to have stats. It's one thing to, get turnovers and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you got to win the game in the fourth quarter. That's it. So we're down by 3 in the fourth quarter. We put a drive together, score a touchdown, and then the defense, gets stops like that. Like that, to me, is what we got to do if we're going to win these games. And, the truth is we don't always find ourselves in games like that. Now, we're going to look back and find that, we should not be in games like this, quite honestly. I mean, that's just the way we look at it. But we are. They're, give Nebraska credit and Matt and the job they did. They, had a hard time the week before. We knew they were going to come out and play us really hard. That's playing in the Big Ten. But to me, that was the idea. Like I kept saying, go win. How are we going to win the game? We talked about that in the off season or on the off week. We did that. So that we can build on. But certainly if we're going to go 1 for 10 on third down, if we're going to run the football the way we did in this game, we're going to be in a tough spot in terms of putting the defense in the situations they were in and also the turnover. So, but I do like the way we kept playing, even after, a couple of unfortunate things that went on. We got to leave no doubt. We can't leave it up to a call. And that mentality is what we kept talking about. And the crowd, got into it there in the fourth quarter and helped for sure. So I think, being in these situations for this team is going to help us move forward.
Cameron Teague Robinson, The Athletic.
Ryan, I know you have some injuries on the offensive line, but it seemed like they struggled both in the run game and in the pass game today. Was it something, did Nebraska show you something that you didn't expect, or was it an execution thing on you?
Yeah, I got to go back and watch the film and figure that out myself. It seemed like a little bit of both, quite honestly, and it's not good enough when we got to be able to run the football. We didn't do that today, and that's why we put the defense in bad spots. That's why we were 1 for 10 on third down and 1 for 2 in fourth downs. So I do think that, it's good to see us put together that drive. We were explosive in the pass game, and Will threw some balls down the field, but the turnover put us in a really bad spot on defense. But I really liked the way the defense played. I thought we played with energy. We played with fire. We kept fighting, even though there were in some tough spots early in the game.
Over to the right, Dylan Davis, Delaware Gazette.
Ryan, do you have any kind of early prognosis on Zen? And I guess, is Donovan Jackson going out to tackle? Is that your next step? If he does miss time, is that your most comfortable option moving forward at left tackle?
We're gonna have to talk about it and figure it out. We knew that if that happened in a game, that was our answer and solution to get out of the game. Now we're gonna have to go back and figure out what's next.
Over to the left, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, Ryan, I know you said Tuesday you were going to launch balls. Were you happy with the performance today? Was that an area of focus going downfield, just trying to stretch it a little bit? And how concerned were you going in?
So when I said that in the press conference, I meant launching balls on our defense. I think it was perceived the other way, which I was kind of a little nervous because I knew we were going to launch balls in this game. But we did. Because I remember saying to myself, did I talk about the offense that way? Because we planned on taking some shots in this game. We did. But, yeah, no, I thought that the execution on the throw and catch to Carnell on the big ball was big, and then the one to Jeremiah was really well executed. Timing was right. Good throw, great catch. And then coming out, I thought that was a good call by Chip on the first down. We were struggling running the ball to set up that play action pass down the sideline to Carnell, which kind of got us into plus territory and then allowed us to score. So I thought that part was a positive coming out.
And folks, we have Cody Simon in the back right now. Over here to the front, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Yeah, Ryan, obviously you didn't agree with the targeting call, it appeared, by your reaction. What was your take on that? And then number 2, Cody Simon just seemed to play, for one of another term, possessed in several instances today.
I'm glad you used that word. That was a word that we talked about coming in, just being possessed and playing that way. And that's the mentality that he took coming into the game. And, I thought we played that way on defense. We played angry. We played possessed. Guys were running around all over the place. And that's the way we got to play all the time. And so now we got to do that again this week. It can't just be, 1 week, and then the next week it's different. It has to be consistent week after week after week. And that starts with our week of preparation. I thought we had a good week of preparation. I thought the coaches did a good job. We got in there. We figured out what we wanted to get done. We practiced hard. We pushed all the buttons. And so, we won a game on defense here, which was great. There was another part of the question.
Obviously, you didn't agree with the targeting call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything right now on that. Yeah.
Over
Just
to the
get
left.
myself in trouble.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Ron, what are you thinking with 10 minutes to go when Nebraska takes that lead? I know you wanted to come out at halftime, score, kind of
Yeah.
put the game under your control. It didn't happen.
Yep.
I mean, everything was going against you. What are you thinking at that point?
No, I just, what do we got to do to get going? And then, we got to find a way to win the game in the fourth quarter. And that feeling that you're talking about right there is where when we find ourselves in these matchup games, it's almost like the first time you're in that feeling. Okay, like how do we got to go do this? Well, we got to get the guys together, figure out how we're going to go win the game, and then go do it. And part of it is for the coaches to put the players in the right situation to be successful, but part of it is the players to go win the game. And it's our job as coaches to make sure we give them the right environment to go take over the game. And I thought we did that today on defense.
All right, folks, I'm going to have Jordan Hancock go to the second table to the back. So, and then continuing on with Coach Day, over to the right, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Right. I think there was a point where you went over to the entire offensive line and you were pretty animated after I think you guys failed to convert on a 2nd and 2 and then a 3rd and 1 in that situation. And you're going through some struggles here with some injuries there. But were you maybe expecting more from that group today than maybe what you got?
Yeah, we need to run the football. I think we ran the ball for 64 yards. And 24 was up from Will, so that's not even close to good enough. So we're averaging under 3 yards a carry with Quinnshon and Travion. That's not getting it done. We got to do better than that.
Over to the state of the right, Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Ryan, do you guys currently have confidence that Jaden can make field goals?
Yes, we do. We do. We see it every day in practice, and we do. We have confidence in Jaden. And I know I missed that one, but yeah, we do. We have confidence that he can make kicks.
Over to the right, Bill Landis, Kings of the North.
Ryan, prior to Zen's injury, did you guys ever consider taking him out of the game? It seemed like he was giving up quite a few pressures, some that led to sacks, one that led to a fumble. And then since you did not take him out of the game, what was that thought process there?
I felt like for his first start, he had to play through it. Didn't want to, panic and just pull him out. Because it's your first start, so there's some things you're going through, and some, whether it's first time jitters or whatever it might be. You're pressing and you're trying to get your feet underneath you. So we wanted him to play through that and see how that went. We'll see how he is now after the game.
And final question for Coach, front row, Stefan Kreisnick, Cleveland.com.
Ryan, you talked the last week plus about sitting on the Oregon loss because you had that bye week. Do you feel like you got the response you wanted? Do you feel like they flushed that game like you wanted?
Well, I certainly think on defense that the response was excellent. I just like the way our demeanor was, the way we were, we were playing, we were flying around, we were getting lined up. A lot of things to build on there coming out of the game. Again, on offense, we got to do a better job in a few different areas there. So. That we got to get back to the drawing board and figure that part out because we got a big challenge here against Penn State.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach. All right, folks, we're going to bring Quinnshon Judkins to the front podium. And we are open for questions. Over here to the left, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
You guys didn't run the ball really well today. What was going on? Was it just because of different pieces and parts on the line, adjusting? What did you see?
Yeah, definitely I would say, for our offensive line, definitely wasn't our best day up front, but I think those guys will get it corrected. Coach Fry, he does great at what he does as far as coaching, and I think he'll definitely fix it for next week, but I think everyone could improve.
How do you keep from getting frustrated in these situations where it's just not, the holes aren't there, and you're just, I don't know.
Yeah, just staying poised and not being too high, not being too low in those situations. And, it's a 4-quarter game and just believing in my teammates. So I know those guys can go out there and execute. So I'm not going to give up on them or just be frustrated that the plays don't work. Just continue to go out there and just try to execute.
Over to the right, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Quinnshon, we haven't talked to you since the Oregon game. For starters, how is the hand? And also, did that impact anything that you were able to do carrying the ball while you were dealing with that?
Yeah, I want to give a big thanks to our athletic trainers here. They helped me a lot. And, you know, nothing's, you know, tremendously like wrong with my hand or anything like that. I still was able to play today, so big thanks to them.
Over to the left, Cameron Teague Robinson, the Athletic.
Quinnshon, when obviously the offensive line's changing pieces a lot right now with some injuries, does that affect how maybe you see holes, how things go up front or in the run game when so many pieces are changing in and out?
I think especially when you have new guys in the rotation, they have to get used to the tempo and how things go up front, especially in the game tempo compared to, you know, a walkthrough or different things like that. So having those guys mentally dialed in and getting those reps that they need, I think that's the biggest part, but it's not anything that they couldn't handle.
Over to the left, Katie Capusta, Spectrum One.
Can you talk about how that last drive by you guys really gave you confidence maybe going into next week? And I rewatched the route that you ran for that touchdown. You really schooled your defender, and he lost his footing. Talk a little bit about what that was like. You were wide open.
So just outside release route, you know, looking at the leverage of the linebacker. He overplayed the route, so I cut it up, and nobody was in that area of the field, so I just gave my back shoulder to the quarterback, so he threw the ball back pipeline.
And
yeah, I think it just helped our team. I want to give a big thanks to our defense, man. They played tremendous today. You know, those guys helped us so much and just did their part. I mean, overdid their part. So a lot of great players on that side of the ball, and they really showed up today.
Folks, we do have Ty Hamilton in the very back as well. If we could start to wrap up with Cody Simon. Any more questions for Quinnshon Judkins? If not, Quinnshon, thank you very much. I anticipate we'll have Will Howard up here shortly. Okay, let's start to wrap it up with Cody then, folks. And Cody, could you come back this way too? I just got a question for you. saying that, but what can you believe nowadays? Okay, folks, we're going to open up questioning with Will Howard over here to the left. Jeff from Press Pros. Jeff Gilbert from Press Pros.
Will, Coach talked a lot about fourth quarter and what that meant to be able to win a game in the fourth quarter today. What's your assessment feeling about all that?
Yeah, I think it wasn't perfect, but a win is a win. And we were able to show that, when the going gets tough and when, maybe things aren't going our way, we're able to win the fourth quarter. And I think our defense did an unbelievable job, of getting some stops, making some really big plays in that fourth quarter and getting us a chance to go down there and put that last one in and give us the lead.
What was different for you guys on that last scoring drive versus the whole other part of the second half that preceded that?
First down, man. That's what we talk about. We got to get that first down. And the first play, I thought it was a great play call, versus they were running cover 3 again on that play, and it was perfect. Carnell did a good job getting some extra yards, and once we had that, I felt like there wasn't any stopping us. And once we kind of get momentum going, man, like that's what we need. And we need to just get that first down, 1 or 2 first downs. And once we get that, we got to get rolling. We can't stall out. We're way too explosive of an offense to stall out like we did in the third quarter.
Over to the right, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Other than the 2 long touchdown passes and of course the last drive, you guys really struggled offensively. To what do you attribute the struggles?
I'm not sure. I really don't know. Something I'm going to have to go back and look at the film on. I don't think we ran the ball as well as we wanted to today, and that a lot of our passes were in the play action world. So if you can't run the ball, it's kind of hard to get into the play action world. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know if there's one thing that we can put our finger on. But we got to go back and look at the film and get it corrected, because we're in the playoffs now, and this is every game is the most important game, and we can't afford to put in performance out there that we're not proud of like today. And I think today will wake us up and remind us that we got to just continue to grind every single day, every single week, and not ever get complacent, man, because you never know. And especially I think Nebraska does some good things defensively. I think they changed up some looks on us. They do some funky stuff up front, so credit to them. But we were able to get it done, and a win is a win.
Over to the left, Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Will, how do you think it affected you guys not having Josh Simmons out there today? And did it affect your decision-making at all, not having him in there at left tackle?
No, it didn't affect my decision-making at all. That's not something I think about when I'm in the game. I got all the trust in the world in Zen and whoever is out there at left tackle. I mean, it's not affecting anything that I'm doing at all. It's next man up mentality, and you got to have full faith in that guy. And I hope Zen's all right, man. I really do. Praying for him. But I definitely, when you lose a tackle with first round potential, like it's tough. And that's a dude that we're gonna miss. But I think Zen stepped up, and he's got to continue to work, and hopefully he's all right, man. I'm praying for him. But it doesn't affect my decision making at all.
Over to the right, Tim May on 3.
Thanks, Jerry. Just 2 quickies. Well, number 1, on those deep balls, especially the one right down the middle. I mean, obviously, Carnell Tate, getting him involved was big, I think, for you guys. I've been in the second one right on stride. How would you rate your deep ball throws today, number 1? And number 2, did they present you guys with some maybe different looks up front? They seemed, they're a 3-3-5, but they had 5, sometimes 6 guys up there and stuff. How much did that affect the run game? Because clearly you got to watch it on your pad.
Yeah, I think they did some interesting things up front, and that definitely messed with our run game a little bit. I think they had like 2 blitzes that were like perfectly called into our runs. I don't know how that happens, but it's just part of the game. Sometimes it's a chess game, and they made some good moves. Deep ball wise, we hit the ones that we had to, and I think it was good. And I'm not gonna give myself a grade on it until I watch the film. I think I maybe held up Carnell just a little bit. Maybe just want to push him down the field a little more, make it a little bit easier on him. But we got the perfect looks. We knew we wanted that play to Carnell versus cover 4 mini. We got it. We wanted to get in a condensed formation, get them into their cloud check, and get the rover down for just a step. And you can catch a number 4 down the middle, so just put it up and let them go run under it.
Over to the left, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Hey, Will, when the running game isn't working, does that put more pressure on you, knowing that you have got to make everything work on the passing game, or does it free you up thinking, well, we can't run the ball, let's just let it fly, it's going to be all passing at this point?
That's a good question. I think you can go either way with that. I think you can say, if you can't run the ball, it makes it harder to throw the ball, play action wise. But I think at the same time, I try not to worry about that. It's one play at a time. Just execute what I have to do, what my job is. Obviously, we want to run the ball better than we did and get ourselves ahead of the sticks more. But for me, I wouldn't say it changes anything, man. My job is my job every single play, and I'm just trying to take it one play at a time.
Over to the right, Andy Backstrom, Letterman Row.
Yeah, well, I think you guys had 10 total plays of those first 4 drives in the second half. You had 7 passes in the second half. How are you staying locked in those moments where you guys are going 3 and out? You had the pick there. How are you locked in on that drive where you guys do score and go 75 yards down the field?
You gotta keep your head down, man. No matter how it's going, you gotta stay locked in. And I'm not gonna let a couple of bad plays affect me. And I've played a lot of ball. I've had some games where things aren't going your way, and you got to find a way to win at the end, and that's what we did today. And it's not always going to be pretty. Sometimes you got to scrap it out and make it work. And it wasn't going our way in that third quarter. We're stalling out on drives, and it bugs me, man. I don't know. I haven't watched the film. It hurts. I want to get back out there. I don't know, man. It just irks me. Just the competitor in me. I don't like that. But we kept our heads down and knew that our time was coming, and we had to make some plays down the stretch, and we did.
We're going to go 2 more questions with Will. Andy Anders, 11 Warriors.
Yeah, that last drive, it seemed like you got a little more involved in the run game, a couple of zone read keeps maybe, and moved the chains right before the touchdown. How much of the run game issues do you put on yourself? You've talked about being sort of the run game coordinator on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I try to take responsibility for everything in this offense, and I think that, my ability to run the ball and pull the ball and run, is a really good effect on this offense. And the more that I'm able to do that, the better. I think, I don't know if we had that much in this week, but I think I was a little more aggressive to the keep on that last drive, and they had been, they'd been kind of crashing in and taking the running back and over. I hadn't really pulled one yet. And, late in the game, when the game's on the line, my legs come into the picture a lot more. And, we had a third down, we ran a little draw. We had that one where I pulled off the rover guy. We were actually swiping back for the backside DM, but I was pulling off the D-gap defender. Something they just get their eyes lost and just got to control it. But, I do take responsibility. I want to, facilitate everything through the offense. But, obviously at the same time, it's, everybody's job, and we're all in this thing together, man. And I'm not worried. We're going to go back to work and figure out what we did wrong and fix it and move on, because we got a big one next week.
And final question, left aisle, Steve Hellwagen, 24/7 Sports.
Couldn't let you get away without asking about that, going back to Pennsylvania to play Penn State. Just your first thoughts about that. Will you be glued to the game tonight watching them against Wisconsin, I guess?
I'm stoked. I cannot wait. It's going to be a homecoming for me. I grew up a Penn State fan. I wanted to go there my whole life. They didn't think I was good enough. But I guess we'll see next week if I was.
Great. Will, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Go Bucks.